In 1867, the United States purchased Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million in the Treaty of Cessions. And this was more fondly also known in the United States as Stewart's Folly. And it's quite interesting, why was it called Stewart's Folly? Well, the reason it was called Stewart's Folly is that William Stewart, at the time, he was the Secretary of State, and he was the one that helped purchase Alaska. Hi, this is Anita from the Dusty Roads podcast. If any of you have been listening to my podcast, you know there's a couple things that I always really enjoy, and one thing is history. I'm a great believer that from our history, we can learn something that helps us understand life today. And the other thing that we do a lot is we also answer questions. And today we're going to answer a question. What is the biggest state in America? And as we answer this question, we're going to also talk about some of the history of the states. So actually, the biggest state in America by land mass is the state of Alaska. Alaska covers more than 663,300 square miles and is the largest state as far as land mass goes compared to other states. But it's also the least populated state. Just over 700,000 people live in the state of Alaska. So Alaska has this huge land size and doesn't have much population. The reason is because Alaska is very much in the very northern part. In fact, above Canada is the state of Alaska. It's between the Pacific and Arctic Oceans. It has rugged mountains, forests, and basically vast wildernesses. It's a cold place in the wintertime, especially. It has moose, bears, wolves, and whales. It's also one of the states where a lot of people go to visit, that they love to go on Alaskan cruises. They love to go up to Alaska during the summertime. They like to go up to Alaska and be able to see just this wonderful place, or this wonderful area which has the wildlife. Alaska has many large cities that drive its economy, which is including Anchorage, Fairbanks, Juneau. And, despite its large size, much of Alaska is still unexplored. Even today, discoveries are being made. So you might ask yourself, well, how did Alaska, I've always wondered myself, how did this piece of land, which is above Canada, become a part of the United States? Why isn't it a part of Canada? I mean, it would seem like it seems like it should have been a part of Canada, because there it is. It's sort of stuck up there at the edge of Canada, and is this piece of land which is known as Alaska. Alaska actually became the 49th state of the United States, but it has a long and sort of fascinating history. Before it became a part of the United States, there were people, tribes, local tribes that actually occupied Alaska for thousands of years. Then later, Russian traders came in who established fur trading posts from the late 1700s onward. In 1867, the United States purchased Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million in the Treaty of Cessions. And this was more fondly also known in the United States as Stewart's Folly. And it's quite interesting, why was it called Stewart's Folly? Well, the reason it was called Stewart's Folly is that William Stewart, at the time, he was the Secretary of State, and he was the one that helped purchase Alaska. And many people said, well, why did the United States buy this massive piece of land, this northern piece of land that's way up there, so far from the rest of the United States? It's cold, it's dark, it's uninhabited. What does this piece of land have to offer the United States? So that's why they said that it basically was a folly, that this was a foolish thing for the United States to do, was to buy this piece of land up there and to call it the 49th state of the United States. But the truth is, the purchase of Alaska by the United States ended up being an extremely smart move. Why? Because Alaska is very rich in natural resources such as oil and timber. What's interesting about this, because there was so much controversy surrounding the purchase of Alaska, even though the United States purchased the Alaskan territory in 1867, it did not become a state until 1959. So, Alaska has actually come a long way since the Stewart's Folly. It continues to be an undeniable place, which fascinates the minds of many Americans and travelers worldwide. To this day, it remains a place of adventure, exploration, and mystery. So the biggest state in America by landmass is by far the state of Alaska. But if we look at the biggest state as far as population, the largest state in America by population is the state of California. California has a population of over 39 million people, but it doesn't have as large of a landmass as Alaska because it's only 163,696 square miles. So it really is a much smaller landmass than the state of Alaska, but it does have the largest population. That's because California also has a very diverse geography, climate. It has a lot of attractions. People from all over the world come to visit California. Many of the California cities are world-class cities for entertainment, technology hubs. And, living in California can be expensive. So over the last few years, California is one state that has seen a decline in its population growth when compared to other years and to also other states. Many Californians have been moving out, especially as they've been able to do remote work. They have decided to move out of the state of California and to live in another state, which is less expensive, or maybe another state that they want to live in. Maybe they don't want to have to deal with the California traffic or many of the other things about life in California. So they've moved out of California and to another place. California also has a bit of a history to it. California was first found in 1542 by the Spaniards, who then established as part of New Spain in 1769. When the Spaniards controlled California, it was estimated that there were about 130,000 Native American Indians were living in the California territory. And at the time, California was part of the Spanish territory and part of Mexico. Mexico won independence from Spain in 1821. And then California was included as part of the new nation or as part of the Mexican nation. But throughout this time, American settlers continued to come to the California territory. From 1846 to 1847, the United States and Mexico were fighting a war, the Mexican-American War. And part of this military campaign was for the United States to gain control over California. In 1846, the American settlers declared California Independent Republic. And if you'd like to know more about this, I've just done a podcast about the state flag of California, which has a bear on it, and where the settlers made a flag with a bear on it and declared their state independent. But, this also was in a large amount due to the gold rush. It was James W. Marshall that found gold in Sutter's Mill in Corona, California in 1848. And this began to spread and people came out and this huge gold rush came where people said, I'm going to go to California, I'm going to find my fortune, I'm going to find gold. And where they spent days and years and all this time trying to find gold in California. The news of the gold rush quickly spread, and with it became, approximately 300,000 people came to California from the rest of the United States and abroad. So you can see that suddenly, there's huge influx of people are coming to the state of California. So it was actually in 1850 when the United States officially declared California part of the United States. So since then, California has become our nation's most populous and one of the most powerful states in the United States. It remains one of the most critical states in the United States. So if you're looking at, what is the biggest state? By landmass, it's Alaska. By population, it is the state of California. This is Anita from the Dusty Roads Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate you listening to our podcast. We'd love to have you subscribe and be part of our community where we believe it's all about living life as a global citizen. So we talk about all things to do about living life as a global citizen. Thank you to our team, especially Rico, for putting this together. And thank you to you, our listeners. We want you to know that we do appreciate you. Thank you.